Hi guys, I've just got to Dunham. I don't know. Oh, it's there, look. You can't see it from here. It's International Women's Day and I'm being commissioned by, oh, that looks like it could be it. And I'm being commissioned by Tyneside to, what am I? Social media and evaluation manager. Look at this. What is this? So yes, I'm gonna go in. Did I say it's International Women's Day? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Being in such a rush this morning, I had to do my hair in the taxi, and then the taxi driver was like, very attractive. Your boyfriend is very lucky, and I'm like, oh, I've got a boyfriend. Okay, let's try and find out where to go. I bloody hope I don't trip right now because I'm up at the top.
Who is, would you like to introduce yourself? And then Kath's going to give you some housekeeping stuff. She's got the fabbest of hat. Look at that.
Thank you. So good morning everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming and being here on such an auspicious day. I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping because we still need to do that, don't we? So basically,
but look at us in the lap of luxury. And it's brought to you by Time to Change, which is Angela Slater. And I've done stuff with Time to Change before. Time to Change are providing your lunch. So, and they're always good for, you know, coughing up. I love working with them. I've also got Kath Budai, who you've just met, who seems to be busy doing something right now.
Carrying on the Twitter thing, so people can tweet from this venue because that encourages more events like this.
Oh, I'll pass you back on to that.
And especially when there's some, you know, what we're doing here today.
So Kath is the, she is the Tyne Weir Archive and Museum, TWAM for short, and she is the well-being worker from the, what officer?
You know how long I've been working with this woman?
Because you hoped it was going to get. So that's another reason I wanted to bring women together. Not so that we can just rant, because we can do that all the time. You know, there's a problem. Let's all work on a solution. Let's see what we can do and work together. And I thought if we can bring people together, then when I've gone, because I'm going to be finishing officially at the end of this month, but actually I'll be finishing a little bit earlier because I've got to write reports and stuff like that. But when I've finished, there will be a new worker coming in, but it might take a little while. What would be amazing is that if a bunch of yous were together and you came together and you met this new worker and you go, I want to do this. I want women to be high on the agenda of mental health. One of the things that I've found is that I've done quite a bit of work with public health. The big agenda is male suicide. And I'm sorry, but we have been missed off on this agenda. If you want something to happen in North Tyneside for women, you're going to have to do it yourself. public health aren't going to help you, the NHS isn't going to help you, and you're going to have to all come together. But what I've found in the last 18 months is that if you bring people, if you bring women together, stuff happens.
Going on for women in North Tyneside. There used to be, but for quite a long time now there hasn't been. So we set up the group just to begin to raise issues for women, and we started off by doing it we approached the North Tyneside Youth Council to see whether the young women in the schools would be interested in doing something about International Women's Day, and we've been doing that ever since. Actually, I think it must have been, I think the first one was very small, but the second one was in 2013, which of course was the centenary of Emily Wilding Davison's death, and so the young women dressed up as suffragettes and had a suffragette thing and stuff. So we've been continuing to do that, and in fact this afternoon, later on this evening, we've got an event this evening, again with the young women, and this is going to go on mental health, because the young women from the Youth Council have been doing a lot of work around mental health, really.
Which is great, but to kind of just let's come back to what's happening right now. So what I would invite you to do is get yourself into a comfortable sitting position. What I would suggest is having your feet flat on the ground, which will be easy for some of us. If you've got little legs like me, it might be a bit more tricky. But if you get a sense of being grounded, feet flat on the ground, a sense of feeling that support, that contact with your chair. And then asking yourself, what do I want for the future? What do I want for the future?
And I decided to start blogging to have a record of my journey through my trauma therapy, and I didn't for 1 minute think that it would go very far. I remember when I got to 100 readers and I was screaming in the hallway in the hospital because I was so excited. And I'm now at 125,000 readers. Wow. So it's crazy.
It is, isn't it? These on your seats are Amy's?
Yes, we've
right.
So through my blogging and everything, I started volunteering with Time to Change, and then the amazing Angela just got me loads of opportunities basically. So I'm here commissioned by Time to Change, and I'm the social media manager for today. So I'll be tweeting, videoing, photographing, and then writing it all up into a blog post as well. So if there's anybody, if you see me hanging around, Angela.
I thought it was off.
If you see me hanging around and I'm photographing or videoing and you don't want to be in it, just let me know and I'll cut that out. If you've got any feedback or anything you'd like me to
somebody to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning when they feel as though they're at the end of their tether. And what we do is we listen. And that sounds really simple, and actually it is really simple, but it is really powerful. We don't have expertise that you don't have in your own lives. We are not going to tell you what to do. We don't think we know any better than you do yourselves, but we'll give you time and space to explore what you think and to express what you feel about your life.
Appropriate mental health services. One of the reasons why we set up many of the services that we do is because women will come to us and say, we can't access what we need elsewhere, what are we going to do? So when we first started doing domestic abuse work, we'd often support women to go into other counselling services, but very often, even with the best will, the counsellors or therapists did not understand the backgrounds that many of the women that were coming from.
In society experience what you were talking about, the multiple layers of barriers to accessing things or to being understood or just to having a part in society that other people take for granted. And I know there's misconceptions around being a feminist. Oh, she hates men. well, I'm married one, I can't hate them that much. But you know, but there's misconceptions around mental health. Oh, she's volatile, she's dangerous, you know. And I feel like many of us have parts of our lives where a lot can be misunderstood, and there can be a lot of barriers to changing that understanding as well. And my favourite part of this role is to look at people who experience mental health and work with people who experience mental health problems, but also experience other barriers or experience other layers of stigma and discrimination.
Well, actually, think about what that means for women, and I would welcome ideas from you about developing that strand of things as part of the programme. We're already accessing or working with women through partnerships with the NHS, Recovery College, through the Forum. We've done a lot of work in North Tyneside. It's a very active place for the programme. The Forum is North Tyneside Services and Carers Forum that Marsha is development worker for, and which brings us here. We're running mindfulness in the museum sessions as well, and lots of other things which can't come to my head. We're doing a lot of stuff around outside art. We're developing outside art with organisations like Chili Studios. So that's kind of like art that's not kind of seen as part of the establishment. You write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you so beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Do you want me to see did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, cause I laugh like I've got gold mines, digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the hearts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, and I rise.
Somebody to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning when they feel as though they're at the end of their tether. And what we do is we listen. And that sounds really simple, and actually it is really simple, but it is really powerful. We don't have expertise that you don't have in your own lives. We are not going to tell you what to do. We don't think we know any better than you do yourselves, but we'll give you time and space to explore what you think and to express what you feel about your life.
Someone called Miro, it's Juan Miro, the Spanish artist. And without further ado, I'll just tell you what's called Swift's Screech and Circle in the Afternoon Sun. And here it is. Tin Bird takes off from Newcastle Airport, and I'm strapped inside its belly with eyes closed and window blind pulled down. Good riddance to miserable Britain, with its thermostat set stubbornly, deliberately on low. I'm swapping my home country for Miro's. Borrowed sun will smooth furrowed emotion, and massage tightened, restrictive routine. I've bought way too many clothes I sigh as we touch down on Alicante's runway. A taxi takes me where I need to be. My aunt and uncle's apartamento. Standing on their balcony, I think of the noisy neighbours, emotional vampires, deadlines, and the weather I've left behind. Within 2 days, I have a new routine. Up with the sun, fruit for breakfast, a stroll, a swim, a salad, then a siesta. Grilled fish and a glass of wine, followed by a cup of tea and a smoke on set. And then it happens. I pick up pen and brush and start sketching again. It's the first time in almost 4 years and I feel elated. And my creativity silences the vain employer, possessive partner, and unforgiving parent inside me. I command all three to go and get lost in the Spanish countryside forever. I hold my sketch over the balcony. It's my most accurate postcard home. My true self, coaxed out of hibernation, circling and screeching with the swifts above mountains and the Mediterranean.
People not want to talk about it, so people don't access community facilities. They choose not to get involved with things, maybe not do voluntary stuff. But also there's the whole kind of it's the whole thing about opting out. And if you go for also people with mental health problems, for example, who experience stigma discrimination, one layer can be not getting the same treatment of a doctor. You know when people
If you go down to the Dole today, you're in for a big surprise. The queues are long and the jobs are gone and poverty's on the rise. For every banker getting a bonus, 50 people end up homeless. Today's the day the fat cats are having a party. Party time for greedy brats. The super rich and friends are having a lovely time today. Watch them spend your money fast and fly away on expensive holidays. See them gaily avoiding tax, connive with tabloid hacks, make bubbles with company shares. When it pops, they've won anyway because we all have to pay to keep on feathering the fat cat's less. When it pops, they've won anyway because we all have to pay to keep on feathering the fat cat's less.
And it's been great to talk to other people as well. It's been great to talk to other people as well, just about what we do and to make connections with other groups that are in the area. It's been really interesting.
Don't forget, we always need volunteers, so if anybody would like to join us, we're very happy to.
What kind of volunteering would you like?
Well, always looking for listening volunteers, but we've also got a group called Friends of Tyneside Samaritans, which is people who will learn a bit about the Samaritans and do other jobs other than the listening side of things. If they want to help out with events, we're trying to increase our sort of outreach and awareness and that sort of thing. We're trying to get a group of people who can help us out with that, because at present it tends to be listening volunteers that come out and do outreach as well.
there's also a lot of people that want to help Samaritans but don't want to be a listener themselves and want to help out. So if you want to sort of become a friend of the Samaritans, that's a new thing that we've started in the last year or so.
So if you've got like a specific skill that you'd like to share, so you know, whether that's sort of let's say marketing, or whether it's outreach, or you'd like to do something that actually isn't on the end of a phone. That's brilliant, because I think sometimes people might feel a little bit, oh, I couldn't do that phone stuff, be on the end of, but it helps people help people. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over as the funders, how did we get on over the funders?
Oh, that's a good network, and met some lovely people.
What do you expect? Women, North Tyneside, fantastic.
It's been some great stories shared. It's been really, really useful. It's been very nice to be here.
Brilliant. And so any, I mean, I don't want to, because it'll probably be top secret and an idea to somebody, but anybody going, I actually want to set up anything for?
Yes, we've had a few inquiries, so if I'm not telling you, that's it.
I don't expect to be told, I want you to.
But yes, we've got some inquiries, so we've got, we send some.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, that's that. Well, that could be a good start.
We'll get some new little groups set up.
Yeah.
So, get some money, which is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, and because what I found is a lot of, I think she's already gone, and some of the partners that we've worked with, we've often found that it's the third sector and charities that are coming up trumps really, and being told about, if it wasn't for them, how people's lives would be a lot less worth living. And we, in the third sector, are picking up the shortfall where the NHS isn't able to, or isn't willing, or is, I don't know what the...
Well, that was fun. Had a lovely day. Oh, it's meant to be lip balm, but it's like really pink. Good event. Lots of networking and lots of work. I'm trying like. So yeah. I'll do my write-up on my blog, so watch out for that.